Buenos dias from, check that out, spectacular Puerto Vallarta. The dogs just arrived. Okay, so everybody, millions of followers, let's say hi to Smiley. Hi! Where'd Shirty go? I've been meaning to do this for about 200 years, you see. I was gonna, I don't know what the hell, why it's so difficult, but I've been procrastinating doing this for a long time, but I've had people ask. Let's say hi to Shirley now. Shirley, how you doing, boy? Okay, where was I? I've had people ask me about how I ended up in Vallarta. Uh-oh. Let's get this freaking framing right. How's that? Wait. Is that, I don't know. Let's focus. Focus, everybody. I was gonna put it up here. That might be better. How's that? Yes, I have an epic view. Too bad this line is cutting out the horizon right now. This is what it looks like. Whee! Maybe one day I'll invest in a proper tripod. But my name is Audra Ricketts, and I'm in spectacular Puerto Vallarta, which is in the state of Jalisco in Mexico. If you didn't know already. So yeah, like I was saying, I've been procrastinating doing this video for a good long time, and so today I'm just going to take my first stab at telling you, long intros, you tell me. Should I put on my shades? Oh my God, that's better. Why and how I ended up here. So I'm originally from Victoria, BC, Canada. Fuck this fucking thing, sorry. And, but I've been in Vancouver. I was in Vancouver for over 30 years. And I moved there in 95 to go to art school and studied fine art and drawing. And maybe I shouldn't get into too much detail, but yeah, and then I quit art school and became an actor for a while, and then that was kind of interesting, and then I ended up accidentally creating a greeting card business, so I was doing illustrations and writing and shit like that. So just so you know, tiny bit of background about me, I was basically juggling all three of those things to make a meager living, plus working in like cafes, and I worked at the Chan Center Concert Hall for like 11 years as well as a bartender. How exciting can you possibly get? So I've lived a life of an artist, and it's not the easiest life, but it's fulfilling at the same time, but challenging. Any hoodles. So the story goes, how did I end up here in Puerto Vallarta? I was in a marriage for 12 years, and roughly 3 years ago, things started to get funky. And I'm not going to get into too much detail about this, but I lived in a cottage in Horseshoe Bay. Sorry, I got to do this. It's too bright. And in a small space, 500 square feet space. Really freaking cool place with an amazing view. And it was like being in a treehouse, but life became very fucked up. And I got to a point where I was like, I cannot stay. But it's like, this my whole life was with this man, and all my shit, and I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do, but like it just became a total fucking nightmare. And someone I had dedicated 12 years of my life to and loved and was faithful to and devoted to and whatnot, and things went, as I say when people ask me here, my marriage went sideways, so I left. And I got really lucky because I had friends that were watching what was going on, and they're like, you gotta get out. So I actually had one friend offer to buy me a ticket because my funds were limited. And here's part of my fucked up marriage is I lived essentially practically the same way as before I met him, and he made a whole bunch of money. I made very little. I was acting, so once in a blue moon I'd get a job and make a little bit of money. I was selling a painting once in a blue moon, and I had a greeting card business. So it's, as you can imagine, I was rolling in billions of dollars. But I had zero access my entire marriage to any of his money. I don't know why I fucking put up with that personally. But and so my funds were wonky, and I basically just put out a call to the universe of like, I think I can, if I can drum up this much dough, when I flee, basically, I think I'll be okay for a little bit. And yeah, when it actually happened, I went about and I sold every inch of most of my merchandise for my greeting card business, and I got really lucky and sold a huge painting to a friend who fucking saved my ass. I sold some other paintings. I did whatever I could, and I actually literally got that exact sum of dough that I had called out to the universe for. So, and yeah, when my friend offered to send me to Mexico, he said, I'll buy you a one-way ticket. And I was fucking terrified, okay? I was about to leave my entire life behind and go into the unknown. It's not the first time. I've done other weird things. Like I decided to do the Camino. I walk across Spain with 5 weeks notice. Most people have years of training and preparation, and I went with like none. But yeah, I was really fucking scared, but it was, I had to do it. And I had another friend like, bring all your shit to my house and you can stay with me. And it was just like, I've never said this out loud. And if he watches this, here we go. I'm fucking telling my side of the story. But yeah, so that's, and then what happened was I was actually going with him. We were going to Los Cabos regularly, and I even went there alone to like paint for a couple months. And I had friends, a little bit of a community there, so I had a friend like catch me when I landed, and I stayed with her for like a month for almost free. Like I think she charged me $100 US to stay with her for an entire month. And then but that relationship got wonky, and this is a very tricky personality type, this woman, and I mean, I'm not the only one that feels that way, but anyway, at a point, my friend, my mother from another mother, my friend Ada Wells, who, if you don't know, she and Stefan Hoffmeyer, they have a YouTube channel as well, based in Vallarta, and I met, this is a long fucking winded story, but here's a really quick story of how I met Ada and Stefan. Is there was a film production in Victoria when I was 16 years old, A Bird on a Wire, with Mel Gibson and Goldie Hawn, and I ended up getting to be an extra in this show. It was kind of a big deal because it was like one of the first productions I ever saw in my entire life. So everyone was like, holy shit, like now, like you see in Vancouver and Victoria, like tons of filmmaking going on there. And anyway, I ended up becoming friends with the producer and screenwriter, the guy that actually wrote Bird on a Wire, and he is a big, huge Puerto Vallarta dude. So he's either in New York or LA or here, and he let me come and stay at his place to paint one year, like 2017 or 2019 or something. And I got fucking sick. I had so much anxiety being here solo in the low season, which is right now. I don't know why. I'd heard stories and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me, but I was super paranoid at night, sleeping alone. I was locking the doors, and like, I had skin rashes, and I just thought I was gonna die. Like, I went to the doctor like 400 times in 2 months. I was like thinking of going home early. At the time, my husband was like, just wait it out. You're gonna get okay. But I was so sick at times, like I thought, if I fall asleep, I'm not gonna wake up. And that's how shitty I felt. Like I had no energy. At a point, my entire face swelled up. And I mean, when you're here in the summer, like right now, when it's humid and raining all the time, your skin can act funny. And especially I was born with skin issues. So now that you know the truth. So when I was freaking out and having all this anxiety and fucked up illnesses and stuff back in 2019 or whenever the hell it was, my friend who wrote Bird on a Wire with Mel Gibson and Goldie Hawn was like, oh, my friends Ada and Stefan are going to be coming in. I'll hook you guys up. And it's funny, actually, because when I got off my plane from Los Cabos, from La Paz, because I took a bus to La Paz and came over here that way, because they used to actually have a ferry. So anyways, that's how I got here. I went to Marlin Taco. If you go check out my video about how to do the airport thing, I mentioned this restaurant that have these amazing Marlin burritos. It's like a airport hack, where you go across the bridge and you get a freaking ice cold beer after your flight and a Marlin burrito, and then the rest of your life you'll be fine. But I still remember when I was in there, is that how the fuck it worked? Yeah, like I saw this couple get up, this tall couple get up, and the chick is in a red tank top, and they go zoom past me and leave. Well, it was Ada and Stefan. And that's who I'm trying to tell you this fucking story about. Pardon my French. So I got hooked up with them, and we became pals. And, she was super sweet. She was like, can I bring you groceries and stuff, when I was thinking I was dying and all this stuff. So that's how we became friends. So cut back to 3 years ago when I'm in Los Cabos. She wrote me a message and said, we just got a second house. So I'm actually in their first house that they built here in up in the nosebleed section, I like to call it, but it's an awesome place. I'm not bashing it, not at all, and that's why I have nice legs, because we're up at 300,000 stairs, and that's what I do every day. But anyway, Ada said, hey, we just bought this house, and it's going to be sitting empty for 1 month. Would you want to come and, take care of it? And I've told a million people this story, and I'm like, let me think about it. Fuck yeah, I do. So that's how I ended up. Oh yeah, so that's not when I saw Ada and Stefan the first time. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But anyway, that was 2019 when I first saw them. So I made my way over here from Los Cabos, and I stayed in their amazing house. They bought this kind of famous house that's the same designer from Casa Kimberly, the house that Liz Gilbert, Elizabeth Taylor, and Richard Burton lived in. He bought it for her for 28th birthday, this gorgeous house. And the same designer designed the house that they live in now, their big house on the river, which is amazing. So I lived in that house for a month solo. And when that ran out, they let me come and live here. And I've been here sort of ever since. I had another house sitting gig with a friend who lives near them for 6 months while she was back in Canada. And then otherwise, they have saved my fucking life in a trillion ways, and I will never be able to repay them by letting me live in this house. Because, like I said, when I left Canada, I had very limited funds. I've never had access to any of my husband's money, and I've lived like a starving artist for almost my entire life, which is not easy, but that's the way it's been. So I would not be able to still continue to live in Vallarta if that hadn't happened to me. So I'm frickin' blessed a million times over. And that's how I ended up. That's how I ended up here. And it's kind of weird because when I was 21, I went with a girlfriend on a trip to Mexico from Victoria, and it was a fun trip, but we ended up in Vallarta and got stuck here. We were supposed to be traveling the country, and we got completely stuck partying and having fun. We both got boyfriends, and we ended up living here in the city for 5 months. 5 freaking months. And it was a great time, and that's sort of why I already feel like it's home, because I had lived here before, and the tons of Vallarta is exactly the same as then. Of course, yes, there's been development, but there's the heart of it is still intact, like when I was here back in the day. So that's part of the story. What else do I need to tell you? Should I keep rolling? So ever since, my whole goal before I even left was okay, I'm going to build a YouTube channel. and somehow live remotely off of the earnings. But mother of God, it's taken forever. And now, just so you know, like, I'm thinking, should I make a brand new channel with a different title so I don't have naked as the first word and everyone thinks the porn site or something? I don't know. Or what? Like, I'm trying to figure out how to generate an actual real income, because for one, it took me 2 billion years, no exaggeration, to get paid. Like, I literally just got paid almost nothing a month ago or something, because it took me so much time to get the banking done and the tax and all this stuff. And like, Google's like, oh, we're gonna send you a code to your house. I'm like, what do you mean? Mexico doesn't even have a postal system. Like, it literally almost took me a year to get paid almost nothing. My numbers are really small, but I appreciate you if you dig this channel. And yeah, so anyway, that's kind of another side story, but I am literally thinking of starting a brand new channel, starting from scratch, and maybe stop swearing, because YouTube doesn't like that either, and change the title and just start from scratch and see if somehow I can grow the channel and change the content. And I don't know, I'm working on it. Give me some ideas if you got any, because anyway, so that's how I ended up in Puerto Vallarta. I've had, I could literally write a frickin' trilogy based on my stories from the past 3 years. You have no idea how many crazy things I've been through. It's not all puppies and rainbows, what do they say? It's been a fucking roller coaster, to be honest. I'm not going to get into that right now, but I may eventually. I'm just telling you sort of how I ended up here. And seriously, if you've watched it this far, this long ramble, I'm also thinking, I know I've said this before, I'm thinking of doing YouTube Live, so you guys, you all can write in any questions you have about what it's like to live in Vallarta and this and that. Because I meet people all the time, which is so freaking amazing, and that's why I started this in the first place. I meet people, I literally met a woman 2 weeks ago who said the reason why she's here is because of me and my channel. And seriously, it makes me want to cry. And it's not the first time. I've met many people that have watched me do it. I mean, I came because I fucking needed something had to happen. So I ended up here. But of course, it's been like an incredible blessing. So like, the hard shit made it possible for me to be here, but I'm still working out many kinks. I'm still barely making any money. I do tours once in a blue moon, but I kind of, like, I don't know if it's really, I love doing tours, but I usually do like tours for 2 people. So as you can imagine, I'm not making $1 billion quite yet. So, but I love that, because like, anyone that wants to do a tour with me, we're like all exactly kind of the same people, which is why I'm guessing whoever's watching this still, we are like that. And it's so fucking cool, because everyone I've taken on a tour, we're essentially best friends after, because we just are the same type of people, which is fucking great. And I thank you. I hope, if anything, I'm making some kind of difference in your life doing what I'm doing, like make you smile for 5 seconds. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. So yeah, I've met tons of people that have been inspired by my videos to, I was just thinking again of this guy I met. I was coming off of a panga, a boat from Cked, and there's this dude standing on the dock with like a yellow paper, lined paper, like a note in his hand. I still remember this image. And I jump off the boat in this makeshift dock, because they were fixing the main pier. And I'm like, I kind of look at I'm like, is that your to-do list? And then the guy turns and goes, I know you. I've seen you before. And I was thinking he meant in person. I'm like, what? And he goes, you're the reason why I moved to Cked. And he's a writer from LA. He writes screenplays and all. And I was like, shut the fridge door. So like, it's just so Excelente. If I can inspire other people to like take the plunge and abandon your entire life back home and come here and we can all go have a beer together. So that's that story. But anyway, yeah, so if you that's the reason why I came here. I have tons of stories about what it's like living here, which I'm going to do in another video. And I'm going to do just a bunch of series of what it's actually like to live here, where I'm just talking to a camera and I don't have to do any fucking editing. Wouldn't that be fun? Hands up if you're into that. I sure as hell am. And, but yeah, sometimes very difficult things bring massive blessings. Do you agree? Yes or no? Or as my friend Jamie would say, yes or yes. He went to some like millionaire mindset conference once and the guy kept saying, yes or yes. He also wore like an elastic band on his wrist if he had a negative thought. I don't know if that works, but give it a shot and let me know. Anyway, so yeah, so let me know if you actually made it through all of this bullshit. If you are interested in me doing any live, because people write me and say, oh, I have 20,000 questions. Like, obviously I can't do one-on-ones with every person, but if I do a live, you can write in your questions while I do a live and tell me when the best time is to do a live. And I would rather do it in the morning than in the evening, but hey, most people have normal lives, not like me. Then you can write in your questions at the time. We can just like hang out and chat for like an hour or something like that. I don't know. I've never done it before. And like I said in my videos, I'm a freaking introvert, if you can believe it or not. What do you want? Smiley! Smiley's coming over for a sec. No, she's not. Okay. Yeah, so let me know if any of that interests you. And I have to say, I freaking love your comments. Unless you're the woman that said, did you used to have a mustache? And I had to block her because I'm like, fuck you. But yes, I did. And I keep plucking it out, so fuck off. But anyway, I mostly get really positive comments and I freaking love them. I love them. But I also have to say, YouTube only shows me some of them. So if I don't go digging around, sometimes I miss them. So sorry if I didn't write you back, because I do try to respond to almost all of them if I can. If I'm not busy fucking around. But yeah, that's the goal, is to try to either start a brand new channel. Why am I telling you? Excuse me. Or find a miracle so I can grow this one so I can generate more dough. If you're interested in a tour for real, I usually do off the beaten pathy kind of stuff. They're just kind of hanging out with me tours. I go to Quimixto or Yolapo, or we could do the walk from Boca to Las Animas and Quimixto. And I don't know if you want to just like I just went on a booze cruise and I was like, this sucks shit. Like, they held you captive for like 10 hours on the boat, and it's just kind of an artificial experience. So like what I like to offer is like bona fide getting in the muck, going into the jungle for walks, and like just, you know, actually see a real piece of Mexico and experience it. Real people, real families, real homes up the river, like shit like that. I don't know why I'm getting into that right now, but if you do, give me a frickin' holler or email me at zenaudra@yahoo.com. Otherwise, that's just the tiniest little bit of the story of how I ended up in Puerto Vallarta. Are you thinking of moving here? It's fucking awesome. It's not always awesome. It's different when you actually live here. It has its pros and cons like any other place, but obviously look at the fucking view. It's kind of delicious constantly, weather-wise, and I'm so lucky to live here. I love it, other than the stuff I don't love. But anyway, thanks for watching this whole long ramble. Send me your questions, and I think I'll just keep talking. And if you dig this and you want more monkey business, please subscribe and like and share if you feel like it. And thanks again. Thank you. I love you all. I just love it. Bye.